In Agile development, particularly within the Scrum framework, planning and transparency are essential for delivering high-quality software consistently. One of the most important tools that enable this is the Sprint Backlog. It helps teams stay organized, focused, and aligned on what they plan to accomplish within a single sprint. Understanding what the Sprint Backlog is, how it's created, and how it evolves is critical for any team practicing Scrum. Definition and purpose. The Sprint Backlog is one of the three key artifacts in Scrum, alongside the Product Backlog and the Increment. It represents the set of Product Backlog Items, PBIs, that the Scrum team commits to delivering during a single sprint. These items are selected based on priority and the team's capacity, and they form a detailed plan for achieving the sprint goal. When and how it's created. The Sprint Backlog is created during the sprint planning meeting, which takes place at the beginning of each sprint. In this meeting, the Scrum team, consisting of the product owner, Scrum Master, and developers, collaborates to select items from the product backlog that they believe can be completed within the upcoming sprint. The team also defines a clear sprint goal, which guides the selection and prioritization of work. What it contains. The Sprint Backlog includes more than just the selected user stories or product backlog items. It also contains the detailed tasks needed to complete those items, along with estimates for how much effort each task will take. Additionally, the Sprint Backlog includes the sprint goal and may also contain technical notes, risk assessments, dependencies, and any relevant documentation required to complete the work. Ownership and responsibility. The development team owns the Sprint Backlog. Once the sprint begins, only the developers can modify or update it. The product owner may help clarify items but does not have the authority to make changes during the sprint. This clear ownership supports autonomy, focus, and accountability, allowing the team to manage their workload without outside interference. Adaptability and change. While the Sprint Backlog is a commitment, it is also adaptive. As the sprint progresses, the team may discover that certain tasks are unnecessary or that additional tasks are required to meet the definition of done. The team is free to reorganize or update the backlog as long as changes align with the sprint goal. However, entirely new product backlog items are not added mid-sprint without careful consideration. Daily usage and visibility. During the daily scrum or daily stand-up, the team uses the Sprint Backlog to inspect their progress and update the plan for the day. Tasks are often tracked on visual boards, either physical or digital, showing their status as to do, in progress, or done. This daily review keeps everyone synchronized and helps detect issues early. Planning and forecasting. The Sprint Backlog serves as a real-time forecasting tool for what the team expects to complete. By monitoring the status of each task, the team can better manage risks, adjust workloads, and stay aligned with the sprint goal. Stakeholders can also gain insights into progress without needing direct involvement in day-to-day team operations. Tools and implementation. Teams use various tools to maintain the sprint backlog, such as Jira, Azure DevOps, Trello, or even physical boards. These tools help track tasks, visualize workflow, and store information like time estimates, priorities, and dependencies. While the tools may differ, the purpose remains the same: to make the team's work transparent and manageable. Link to definition of done. Item in the sprint backlog must meet the team's definition of done, or DoD, before it is considered complete. This ensures a consistent level of quality and may include requirements like successful code review, automated testing, documentation, or deployment readiness. This shared understanding helps the team deliver truly done work, not just partially completed features. Relationship to the product backlog. It's important to note that the sprint backlog is a focused subset of the product backlog, which contains all possible work for the product. The sprint backlog is what the team is working on right now. During the current sprint, it narrows the scope and ensures that only the most important and achievable items are addressed in the short term. Value to the team and organization. The Sprint Backlog adds significant value by helping teams stay organized, aligned, and accountable. It enhances transparency, allows for adaptive planning, and supports continuous delivery. For organizations, it provides visibility into what teams are working on and how that work contributes to overall business goals. It also reduces the risk of miscommunication and unmanaged scope creep. In summary, the Sprint Backlog is not just a list of tasks. It's a living, evolving plan that guides a Scrum team throughout a sprint. It reflects the team's commitment to delivering a meaningful increment of value, helps them stay focused on their goals, and enables transparency across the organization. By effectively managing the Sprint Backlog, Agile teams can work more efficiently, respond to change more easily, and consistently deliver high-quality results.